The Great Lakes region is about to experience some record-breaking heat that might come to us within a week, but we need to hang on just for a couple more days. Welcome to the Border City Kids podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and this is our new weather channel where we're doing weather forecasts almost daily here. If there's big storms coming around, we'll do lives, but I've loved bringing the future weather forecasts to you guys. It's definitely different experience for me, but I love doing it. I love weather, so thank you for being here. So we're going to dive into the next 24 hours weather forecast, what we're looking at when it comes to rain, temperatures, cold fronts coming through, extreme weather. We're also going to look at the next week when we're talking about being above average and below average. So like I said, we're going to see some warm temperatures come through, and we'll discuss that right now. So let's dive into what we see on the radar. This is the current radar that we're looking at right now. Now, we still see the eastern half of the United States under that cold spell right now, but the good news is that freeze line is going to shift to the north over the next few days and continue to push north as we see some really nice temperatures, a lot of heat coming from the south, push up into the northeast Great Lakes region. So this will be a big change that we'll see in the near future. A few weather systems we see pass through right now is Vancouver, still getting hit by some of that snow. We're seeing a lot of snow fall in the higher elevations, which is completely normal. They do have a lot of ski hills and all that. It is a very big tourist destination in the winter for their ski hills. So this is completely normal. We do see some snow falling in Nevada and Utah and a little bit in California, once again in higher elevations. California has been getting rounds and rounds of rain, so they are above precipitation in the last little while. Here's just looking at what has fallen in the past 24 hours. So we do see in the Tennessee region, we do see in the state of Arkansas and Kentucky that there has been a little bit of precipitation as well as the Northeast. In Ontario, you did experience a bit of snow over, I would say about 2 days ago, which was about 20 centimeters of snow. So it was a decent storm that went through that way. Obviously not recorded on here, but that's about the biggest snowfall in Canada that we've seen in the recent few days. Looking forward at our temperatures, we still see the colder regions of the Great Lakes being under the freeze mark. Now, yesterday in southern Ontario, we did hit about 5 degrees Celsius, which was a very big noticeable change. It was actually really nice out, and it felt a lot different than the negative 20 degrees Celsius temperatures that we were experiencing from before that. So it was a good change. Like I said, we do see that jet stream dip down into the southeastern United States, down into states such as Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and all the way up the East Coast. So it's still been pretty cold. Now, the good news is the temperatures have increased, but they're still just below that freeze point. And we continue to see that battle, the ongoing battle, with some of the colder temperatures up in northern Canada, in the territories, as well as Alaska. Now, we do follow those temperatures because most times those temperatures tend to funnel their way into some of the United States, into the greater 48, I guess we were going to call it, especially on the eastern half of the United States this past winter that we're going through. So we do see those southeastern states continuously be pushed to freezing points, which keeps these states very cold. So we're going to see over the next few days the warming trends daily continue to push further north and northeast, creating some warmer temperatures that are going to fall well above the freezing mark, which is going to be some big relief. So for the next 24 hours in the southern Ontario region, you are going to see a cold shot come through. It will as well affect Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, New Hampshire, northeastern states, and it's going to be quick. I think this is going to be a short-lived system. I think it's going to be pushed out, and then we're going to start to see some warmer weather start to funnel in, which is great because it pushes that cold weather out in the Atlantic. Here's a look at the Gulf Coast heat. We are seeing temperatures in southern Florida get around 80 degrees, as well as the Gulf Coast at Panama City. We are seeing temperatures around 73, 74 degrees, which is very pleasant for this time of the year. We are seeing temperatures in Alabama as well hit the mid 60s. We look further west towards Louisiana, and we're seeing temperatures pushing up into the mid 70s, closer to 80. And when we look at Texas, this is where a majority of our heat's coming from right now. The temperatures are just shy of about 80 degrees right now, which is very pleasant for this time of the year. But we're going to see over the next little while, lots and lots of heat come from the southern states, from Mexico, from the Gulf of Mexico, and out into the Atlantic. So it is going to be a big change. Here is what we're looking at with temperature anomalies over the next 24 hours. We are seeing that widespread above average chunk slide to the right, which is good. This is a big for the Great Lakes region because we're going to see that cold air shift off east and we're going to see warmer air settle in. Like I said, we do got to keep an eye up in northern Canada over Yukon and Northwest Territories right now and into that Alaska region because some of that cold air does want to find its way down further south, which is like that polar vortex when we see those colder temperatures settle all the way down into states such as like Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for the next week or two, we're going to see above average. Here's our temperature anomaly right now. Like I said, we are going to see a cold shot overnight tonight, but I think this is going to be very short-lived. I think the temperatures will fluctuate all the way back up to around the freezing point, and they will continue to increase as we get towards the end of the week. As we look at the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook, the temperatures look to be well above average, and this has shifted northeast now. We have a very strong probability of above average temperatures in the next 6 to 10 days. Now we're looking at temperatures potentially 50 to 60 degrees. Now I don't want to be too optimistic right now. I want to be realistic. But I have a feeling we might hit that 50-degree mark in that Great Lakes region, whether it's in Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York. I think there is good news for you. But right now, I'll say on the low end, we're probably going to see a minimum maximum temperature of 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think that's good news because we've been close to zero lately. It's been absolutely freezing in that whole area. So it's good to see that this whole region is red now, which means temperatures are going to go up. As far as precipitation looks, we're going to see a lot of shots from the west coast come off California. And as we see the jet stream level off, I think we're going to see a more active pattern as some of that colder temperature shots from the Arctic meet with the warm, moist air from the Gulf Coast. I think where those 2 points meet is where we might see some severe weather, which we could potentially see within the next few days. So we'll keep an eye on that. We do see some severe weather with some thunderstorms rolling through Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia might be even in that, but we do have a strong line potentially in the next few days. Now it is a few days out, so we're not 100% on this, but we can still be fairly certain that something's going to happen because it is only 4 days away. So it is possible. We'll keep an eye on it. If anything changes, we'll report it back to you. But here's the good news. We see a lot of above average temperatures in Canada and the USA. And we do finally see it take over that Great Lakes region. And we are going to see a massive shot of warm air take over that Great Lakes region next week. I'm going to wait a few days to really be certain on how warm the temperatures are going to be, but I have a feeling we're going to hover right around that 50-degree mark if we have to make a guess at it right now. There will be colder shots of air that will find themselves down into Canada in about 2 weeks, but I think the warming trend is what we're looking at for the next at least 10 days, I'd say, if we're on the eastern half of the United States and Canada and up into Quebec. So that's the good news. And looking at our temperatures, we can see daily the fluctuations. That's our daytime highs and nighttime lows. But we see every day that freeze line shifts a little bit further north every single day. And that's because the warmer air is starting to be more dominant day after day with more sunlight, and we are getting closer and closer to spring. So that is the good news that I have to report. So if you're hoping for some spring-like temperatures, I think you are in good hands in the next week. I think this weekend's going to be pretty pleasant in the Michigan, Ohio, Southern Ontario region. We will see temperatures about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius over average. If you're in the United States, that's about 7 or 8 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is the good news. And I think we're going to see the temperatures go up even higher as we get to mid next week. So thank you for joining me today. Please hit the subscribe button if you love daily forecasts. I'm glad to bring them to you. If you want me to focus on certain states or provinces, please tell me in the comments below and I'll get to you and I'll cover that area. As far as the forecasts go for the next little while, I'm going to keep bringing it to you. Every time we have something major come up, we'll go over it and I'll be back tomorrow. So thanks for joining the Border City Kids podcast. Take care. We will see you tomorrow.